Um, I want to get into Snoop's departure in '98. When did you first hear or sense that Snoop was unhappy at death row and was wanting to get out?
Well, it was after the tour that Sharitha and I had took him on, after the Dogfather. Dogfather, everybody, I always say the worst album ever. But it still sold 2 million records. But that wasn't nothing at the time. We was like, whoa, it's scary. Can Snoop do something without Dre? That was the whole thing. And so, but we were still trying. We was going to do this EP on him. It was a documentary, doggy documentary. What was the name of it, John?
Documentary. It was going to be an
Yeah,
EP.
documentary. And so Suge was still spending money. Suge was in jail at that time, but he was still allowing, me to give him budgets and stuff like that. We did that Midnight Love with a song. I remember it was a skit. I think it was going to be called Head Doctor or something like that, where he was in the bed with a female. John, if you can find that and play that for people, because I know a lot of people didn't see that, but I know I put it in Death Row Uncut, which for any of y'all that steal it, that's mine. That's Simon Says Films ownership of that from Uncut. But when he was in the, so that was going to be an interlude. He had a song with Rage Against the Machine that was on the radio. So it was like 6 songs that he was going to put out on the EP. But what happened is, and this is what I don't think Snoop knows or understand, and we probably should have been a little bit more transparent to Snoop. And I think he got pissed because we lost our deal. Now Suge, legal problems is catching up to his business, where Interscope is now saying, oh, we done got away to get out of giving this nigga $1.5 million a month advance, because he ain't gonna be there. He's done been convicted now, and he gonna be in jail for 9 years. Yeah. All we really want is Snoop and Tupac. Snoop and Tupac. So let's figure out how we can get them away from Suge, because we don't want to be in business with them no more. So now we fighting, attorneys and all of that. So now we ain't got no deal, no money coming in. That's why Dre say niggas with no cheese, no deal. All of that's around that time. But so this is like 97. So now Snoop was getting $50,000 a month advance. But he would get other big checks here and there, and things were still getting paid for. But we weren't able to give him that 50, or we elected not to give him that $50,000 a month for whatever reason. I forget the business on that. And that was like October of 97, I think is when that stopped. And so now he's out there doing stuff with trying to make money, which he was supposed to do. He was supposed to get off his ass and hustle. But not the haters. Haters didn't want to hear that. Talking about Death Row. He went and did a song with Jermaine Dupri, JD. And he was going, I think he had $100,000 coming in on that song. He went and did a song with Master P. And he was going to get, I think he said he got like $35,000 or $36,000 for that song. And then he was doing a song with Dr. Dre, because now they back kind of cool, where he was on this song called Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Who they end up putting on that, John?
LL Cool J.
LL Cool J, okay. I knew it was somebody big that they ended up putting on there. And so Snoop was like pissed now. He's like, oh, these niggas ain't giving me no money, and they ain't letting me eat. But he don't know we're trying to get stuff worked out. We over there trying to make a deal. Now I'm meeting with Brian Turner and all that. But really, we're trying to get them sold. Leor Cohen coming up there. I give y'all, she'll tell him $13 million he wanted, which was crazy. He should have took the 8 that Leor came back with, because at that time, Leor was over Def Jam. But for some reason, Suge was hating on Def Jam. He didn't want Leroy to have Def Jam. I mean, Snoop for that time. I think because Method Man and Redman was blowing up. I don't know if DMX was out yet, but they were doing good. Montel Jordan had did well, and Jay-Z. Jay-Z had did well with the Hard Knock Rock, with the Annie soundtrack. And so Suge was hating. He didn't, but DMX wasn't out yet, because I remember when Leroy got in the car with me, he brought that cassette. And he said, man, Reggie, this guy's going to save rap. This guy's going to save rap. Because he was like, man, you messed up, Reggie. You should have put Richie Rich. I remember when I played it for his whole staff, the Dog Pound album. I know it wasn't Dog Pound. Retaliation, Revenge, Get Back. They didn't really feel it, but he was like, man, you should have Richie Rich right there. I think on that song California. And I was like, well, it's too late. And so, Leo was just giving me some advice and stuff. And but I remember DMX, so DMX wasn't out yet. Because he was like, man, this guy's gonna save rap. And I was like, okay, yeah. Woof woof. Which he turned out to be right. And so Leroy was like, man, I don't know. I can only get $8 million because Columbia, that's all because they were partners with Columbia at the time. And so I told Suge, Leroy came up and told Suge. He came back the second time and told him about that. And Suge was like, nah, that ain't good enough. Need to get some more. So now he got a deal in place, though, which I think that's why he told Leroy no, because Snoop should have been a Def Jam artist. But timing just didn't work for Leroy. And, because now he think he got this deal in place with Jimmy and Priority, where they were going to go 50-50 on Snoop. And it was going to be $7 million, I think, that they was going to sign Snoop rights over to Jimmy and Priority. After that Zoom situation came up, Jimmy was like, I'm out. He called me, told me, tell him I'm out. I don't want to do it. I'm like, what? So now I'm calling Brian. Hey, Brian, what? Jimmy's out. Huh? Brian, you need to go up there and see Suge, see what we can do. Okay. So Brian goes up to Priority because now we got a deal with Brian where we gave him all the rights to the Death Row albums, and he's our distributor. And he was giving us $350,000. So y'all gotta remember, we went from $1.5 million a month to $350,000 a month. That's a drastic pay cut. And so, but they end up getting the Dog Pound album, Michelet album, and I think the soundtracks. The Gridlock and gang-related soundtracks. And so that's how we got Ice Cube on a couple songs, and I think Dub C was on something, or Dub C on some of those soundtracks. And so now we're in business with Priority, but we're still trying to work out this deal with Snoop. Because now Snoop is out there wilding out doing diss songs, leaking stuff on the internet on purpose with his website. And we like, okay, Snoop out of control. Snoop going crazy. And we got to get rid of him. She was like, you better get rid of, make something happen. So he comes up there, and Brian's like, Suge say, Brian, I like you, which he did. Brian Turner, a cool dude. That's the guy that y'all see in the movie with NWA and all that, but he mainly made his money off of Cube and Mac 10. He gave Mac 10 that big deal, and gave Jay-Z his first deal, and then later with Master P. And some other groups. And he had my boy Marvin Watkins working for him in A&R. Rest in peace, Marvin. But anyway, and so he comes up there and like, I can't do it. And so Suge was like, Reggie always telling me about this country motherfucker you got over there. Because he didn't know who Master P was. And Snoop doing a deal with him and telling that motherfucker, he better pay me $100,000 for Snoop being on that song because I hear it's already out. I want $100,000. Brian's like, okay, I'll take care of that. He said, yeah, but he want to be with him, then make that happen. $4.5 million in the override on the album, on the next 3 albums. And Brian was like, let me see what I can do. Went back, made the deal happen. Now, everybody's under the impression that Master P ain't never in life came up there, talked to Suge. He's lying. He ain't never been in no prison. If so, Master P, tell me what prison was Suge went into. Was that when you went and saw him? You talking about up in Sacramento, he wasn't in Mule Creek. He was at CMC when that deal was made. So Master P lying about that. But that Master P never went up there and met with Suge. Brian Turner did. But from there, the deal was made, but the bottom line to the story is people always believe that Suge did this. Snoop was the first one starting with the diss songs and the leaking the stuff out on the internet on purpose. I remember there's a source article out there, Brian, where he talks about it. I called you Brian, John. But John, if you could post that or pin it up or whatever, however you can do it, so people can do it once we find it, where he talked about doing all of those particular things. Knowing you probably already know it, about it. But Snoop is the one that leaked out those songs to try to sabotage the deal because, like I said, now we release stuff on purpose, but back then you hold music like that close to your chest, and you didn't have stuff to get leaked out. And I'm just trying to, set the record straight that Snoop is the reason that a lot of this stuff ended up happening. And Snoop's main reason for being upset, which, like I said, if I was older, I get it. I probably would have talked to Suge to make it happen. You never have a Snoop Dogg or nothing like that by evidence of what ended up happening to him with Trey D and Doggy Angels and all of that when he was running Doghouse Records. You never have him in charge of your books and stuff like that because he wasn't that smart of a guy back then like that. But where we messed up at, one, no royalties department. Two, because niggas was getting paid and was getting their money and was getting overpaid. But two, and most importantly, not putting Snoop in a position that, say, Michelet had temporarily, or not Reggie position, because Reggie dealt with his mama, his family, everything. You need a guy that will be the liaison or the runner or whatever you want to call me. But you needed a guy that was music inclined, like a Snoop, to be the head or the spokesman for the company. And I wish we would have been smart enough to be like my boy Chris Taylor, who really is the one that owns Death Row Catalog with this company, MRK, is doing with Snoop to this day. Y'all hear and learn more about that. But we should have been smart enough to put Snoop in a position like that. And that's what I think was the final straw to make Snoop being upset, and even gave him a percentage of the company. 5%, 10%, something. Because now he got 100%. Dre left it. They started off together. So I get it. And I think that's what Snoop's frustration. But Snoop started, and it probably would have got worked out because Snoop might forget. I don't know for sure that he heard about this. But after he did the last song with P and them, that was considered a flop, where he wasn't that happy, Suge had me reach out to Big C Style and Daz and try to get Snoop back, and told me that offer him $1 million to come back to Death Row. Shit, the next day it seemed like Big old Cell sitting in the well telling tales came out on the internet. So that was our answer to that. But yeah. Snoop pushed his way out by doing Street Tactics as well. John, you remember the name of those websites that were put out back then where he leaked those songs?
Yeah, it was just SnoopDogg.com or SnoopDoggydog.com. I can't remember, but it was '98, and he did put up snippets for a bunch of songs. One of them was a song with Tupac called "Just Watching" that nobody had heard, so they got like a 5-second clip, and that's how people knew that song existed. But yeah, he was trying to advertise the CD that he was going to release. That he never ended up selling it on the website, but he did put it up as if he was going to.
Gotcha. And so we was hearing about stuff like that pissed Suge and us off. Yeah.
Okay. In '99, I was sent, and people always wondered or they asked who was the person who did this, so I'll let it out. I was sent a tape from the office of Snoop's album, The Last Meal. It didn't even have a track list. This was like months and
I think
months
you was
before
making
the
up
album
names,
came out.
wasn't you? You
Yeah,
made up those
yeah.
names.
Yeah, I made up, and they were all wrong. But I just tried to listen to the hooks and make up names. But we took the tape, we converted it to digital, and we put it up on the Death Row site where you could download that one in MP3, and you could also stream. And that's where we got slick, is you couldn't download Dead Man Walking, but you could stream it, you could listen to it. Can you tell me how, if you remember, how that tape was obtained, and what, if any, blowback you got from Priority for putting that on the website?
No, I ain't gonna tell you how I got it because it's somebody real close to him still to this day. But I'll tell it. Daz gave it to us, and Daz gave us the song, the music, and Last Meal was put out. And, you know, we did that Last Meal. Daz wasn't really with us, but he was back and forth with us at that time. But that song and how we got the information that's why we did that song with Cinderella with Top Dog. We was getting information from guys that was going up there, that was hanging around him, that was playing both sides. And that's why when radio got Cinderella from us and them, they was like, we're not getting involved in this headache. And then we did that video. It was like, oh. Because if Cinderella would have came out, the version of Snoop had alone, now Bitch Please ended up coming saving him. But Snoop would have blew up way before he did with Cinderella. That was that Dana Dane remix song. Shout out to my boy Jay Flex, because he flipped the hell out of that Cinderella song for Top Dog. Yeah, that's the video we did with our boy Big Worm was in it. He was the fairy godmother or godfather. And we did in all that lime green color. If you ever didn't see that, check it out. Top Dog Cinderella. It was a nice video. That's where you'll see a lot of the role artists. We featured all of them at the end of the video. I think we had VK, Doobie, Swoop G, The Realist, and then Top Dog was all in the video.
And Mac Sean.
Oh, and Mac Shine. Dad's boy, Mac Shine. Yeah. And then we also did Superfly during that time with The Matrix. Yeah, I remember that's why that video was out, because that was when The Matrix was. Yeah, I remember didn't understand that why he was running and acting like that in the Like It Like That video. That was because Matrix was hot then. And we call that being innovated on that video. But yeah.
You guys put out the first song that had Top Dog on it. It was YGD at the time, Going Back to Cali. Snoop was still on the label at the time that you guys put this out. He believes that it was put out to make the East Coast and Puffy in particular think that it was him. Can you explain why that was put out, and if that was the true motive as to why?
100% correct. 100% correct. 100%. Who would listen to it from anybody else other than Snoop? That's the only reason it got the little buzz that it did. Could you imagine if we could have really got Snoop to do it? How big that song would have been? But he's 100% correct. But that's when Snoop was trying to be a politician there. Now he playing against Pop. Yeah, I done went on Angie Martinez's show and pissed off Pop. Yeah. But this a month prior. A month prior. Look at him at the House of Blues on that stage. Look what his boy Trey D saying on the stage while Tupac's talking. So is that politician or is that a disloyal, two-faced motherfucker? Which one? Y'all look at what he doing. He over there laughing while Pac talking about Big and fucking Faith and all of that. He's over there in the corner cracking up laughing. But then less than a month, it's not even a month, less than a month. Now you're going on, because you're on the East Coast, and you're saying the stuff that you're saying. Just trying to show y'all.